Hey guys, welcome to the live stream. We were working on John and Susan's van today, getting really close to delivery day. So all we have to do is, actually let's hop in the van and I will go through a checklist here. All right, let me get my camera working first. Yeah, so we're working on the build. We've got a couple more things left. What we're picking up from today is we've filled the whole entire water tank up. And we've done, I've let it's at the very top and it's been sitting for a little over 24 hours. So no leaks on the bottom end. Now, water tanks are not pressurized. So typically you're not testing to make sure that they hold pressure. But just in case, I went ahead and pressurized it just to see if John and Susan are filling it up with the city water pressure. I didn't want any of the seals to leak if they did accidentally put that pressure on there. And at the very top vent fitting, we have a little bit of a weep leak. So that is just a very small drip. That fitting, I think we can do 1 or 2 more turns. So I'm going to redo that fitting and retest. But we need to knock that out. That's an easy fix. But today, we're going to pause on that and we're going to move on to finishing up the electrical enclosure. And give me 1 second. My camera is being weird. Give me 1 second. There we go. So what we're going to be doing today is finally organizing all these cables. We've already got a plan of attack as far as how we're going to organize everything. So the first thing that I did was make sure that all the electrical systems were working. And hold on 1 second, I think the stream is choppy. If John and Susan are filling it up with the city water pressure, I didn't want any of the seals to leak if they did accidentally put that pressure on there. Anyway, we'll keep going. So we're going to move on to the back of the van here and went through all of the electrical wiring, tested all the circuits. So we got the lighting, we've got the 12-volt reading lights. We've been using shore power a bunch. So we've been actually, I guess the camera's over here. We've been using shore power charging. So we've had 3 full shore power charging cycles on the van. So we've taken it all the way down to 10% 3 times and fully charged it up. And it charges very quickly. Again, this is the first 48-volt system that I've used, and it just seems to charge much faster than a 12-volt system. So, yeah, still learning about that. But as far as plugging it in, as soon as you plug it in, the system takes over. You don't have to do any settings. You can go into the menu, and you can set how many amps you wanted to pull from the household outlet. So if you don't want it to pull 15 amps and you're running something else on that outlet, you can move it down to 10 amps. So that's what I did. And it still charges very fast. It's 10 amps. Now you can make it more if you have a different circuit, but 15 amps is the max that I would want this system to be, at the plug that I have for them to use to charge. So we went through all the wires. We checked everything. I mean, everything's working fine. So the main box is this one right here. So this is the main fuse panel and breaker system. So the breakers over here are for the 110 volt. And over here on the right-hand side is the 12 volt fused connections. So I've already been playing around with this, connected all this. I even used the wireless controls. So you can use them with the EcoFlow app or on the touch screen. And the first 6 circuits are controllable that way. So we're going to make sure that we put the interior lights and then all of the reading lights, and then we'll have 1 more circuit. I'm trying to think what we might put on that. I'm not sure. But we've got options. So this box is going to, if you can imagine, let me get some pieces of wood in here so you can see. This is a very simple enclosure. It's just going to be a nice low-profile enclosure over here. So here's the wheel well. And essentially what we're going to do is we're going to come in here We're going to do the same 2x4 construction we've been doing with the water system. And then we're going to come off of this, and we're going to build up a box over this wheel well. So we're going to make sure that we use our sound deadening. We'll do our Havelock wool in here to insulate. But what's nice is we'll have this cavity here so that these wires from the interior of the van can start to come through. And then we can organize these other cables. Now we have the EcoFlow system turned off. And the only quirk that I've found out so far with the EcoFlow system is there's a certain startup sequence and shutdown sequence that makes it happy. So if you don't follow that, it's going to take care of itself and protect itself. So don't start using this system like you already know what you're doing. You need to do everything step by step. It just has a bunch of redundant safety features, so it won't turn this box on unless it sees that everything else is good to go. For example, when you turn the system on for the first time, and this is just my experience, you need to turn on the AC system first, then the DC system, and then once those two lights are on, then you can actually turn off the AC system. Not sure why that's the order of operations. That's just what I've found to not have the DC system automatically shut off on you. It's wanting to see that startup sequence, in just my experience. So once you got the AC system running, if you're not using it, then you can turn it off, keep the DC system running, and just let that go. But what's most important about this system that it doesn't like is it wants anything that's drawing power or giving it power to be turned off before the system is fully shut down. So if you have, if you're getting ready to shut this system down, either you want it into storage or you just don't want the system to be on at all, what you're going to have to do, it's really easy. It's just, it's kind of a quirk. What you want to do is go to the DC, go to the panel, and then you're going to make sure that any circuits are off. So you want to turn all your light switches off. You want to turn off your water pump, so all 12-volt circuits off at the source. And then you're going to want to turn all your AC systems off. So don't leave a water heater running and then shut this system off. So you want all the power to be shut off, switched wise. Then you're going to come over here, and then you're going to make sure that all your input power is disconnected. So the shore power, you're going to make sure you want that unplugged if you are unplugged. Then you're going to want to come over and you're going to want to unplug the solar, because solar is always on. So you're going to want to unplug the solar. And now again, you're not doing this every day. This is if you're taking the van, parking it for storage, or you're not going to be using the van for a long time and you want to shut the system down. This is not a daily task. This is only for storage. But you're going to unplug the solar, and then you're going to want to unplug the alternator ports. So no power is going in. All the circuits have been turned off. And then as soon as that is done, then you can hold down the button, wait for the lights to show up, and then all of a sudden the lights will fade. And then as soon as the lights have faded, the system is off. And then you can go ahead and unplug the battery cable. So hopefully that helps some people that have been having these DC issues. I'm going to put in, even though I've resolved it and it hasn't happened before since I'm doing that sequence, I'm still going to put a help ticket in just so I can record this. Just to have that on record, so if anything happens down the road, it's noted in our account. So moving on, let me make sure I got my phone with me in case you guys have any questions. For storage. But you're going to unplug the solar. See, the internet's kind of slow today. I see my stream is a little jittery. Let's see, I'm going to go turn this off over here. Turn this computer off. Yeah, but anything like that, you're just going to want to make sure that you, you know, tell whoever you bought it from about that. That would be my recommendation. Okay, let's head back to the van. So we're multitasking today. I'm actually got the kitchen galley panel that is finalized and is being painted. But getting back to this power system, let me change the lighting up here. So what we're going to be doing is these cords are going to be exposed. It's just the way the system is designed. So we want to do this in a neat, you know, design-focused way. So what we're going to be doing is, over here on the right, I'm organizing the shore power cable, the solar input cable, and I'll just give you an idea of what this is going to look like. So essentially, we're going to have a simple box covering that. I mean, that's kind of straightforward. It's just a box. So we'll have the 2x4 coming this way, going this way, one coming over here, one over here. So we've got a nice structure, and then we'll size the height. So we'll pretty much have, we'll go get some 2x4 pieces. So what we're going to have is, I'll have a piece coming in like this. And so this will pretty much be our base height. And then we'll have our box like that. And then we'll probably, and I'm just doing this for ease of install. That's pretty much what this is. So we'll either do this, and then up here, we need this, as you guys can see how much cable we have, we need the room back here to actually house everything. So I know it kind of looks a little overkill that we're building so big, but we need the space. So we're going to build this box out. There's a nice cover plate that goes on here. And then that way we're out just about where our, behind where our battery box is. But what I'm going to do right now, I just turned the camera on so you guys can kind of see how I'm organizing everything. But the plugs, so we'll have each one of these plugs. This is the AC in, so this goes down here. And so the plugs, what we're going to do is we're going to plug them in. And I've got everything disconnected, but these plugs, they snap in really easy. So this is actually going to come behind here like this. And then we'll have two really nice cable ties, and they're going to be bolted into the back panel.